very poor standard for content creation here. Unfortunately, I made a video about the semis, the second week of finals, and it got deleted somehow by accident. And I spent a good 5 minutes talking about Danny Frawley and how much of a huge inspiration he's been for me and how talented he was and brilliant a footballer, and unfortunately it got deleted. So all I can really say is Danny was an absolute legend. I was struggling after he passed, not going to lie. When I heard the news, I didn't quite believe it, and he's a St Kilda legend. Spud, absolute ripper. And I have to leave it at that for now. I will probably go into more detail about the Spud later on, but I'm just really sad that he died, and also a bit disappointed, obviously, that my first tribute got deleted by accident, because I felt like that went into a good amount of detail about Spud. But for now, I just want to leave it. Spud's a legend, and rest in peace, the great man. And so I'll move on to the semis. I gotta recover. I gotta redo this entire video now because I completely screwed up by deleting it. And I'm just gonna look at the last 2 weeks of finals. They were fucking fantastic. The first semi that I didn't quite get to see this one because I was out with mates. I saw the third quarter when the Eagles fought back against the Cats in that first semi-final. I can't believe the Eagles lost that one. That was theirs for the taking. It's crazy that they lost that game. Terrible from West Coast, and finishing in fifth was obviously horrible for them. And yeah, it happened 2 weeks ago, so I don't think anyone else gives a fuck. This is the second last vid on my channel, so I got to get through these last results. This is so bad of me. But yeah, the GWS versus Brisbane game was a classic. I love that game. I'm going to remember that one for a long time. Probably rewatch it, the highlights, many more times. Classic, absolute brilliant game. I'm just trying to think of why it was my brain just melted in a period of 2 seconds. That goal at the end from Daniels, just a memorable match-winning goal, and the fact that GWS did what they did the next week, which is what I'm about to get to, is even more incredible. Absolutely great game. GWS's start made it just as more memorable. The comeback from Brisbane, just fantastic. I reckon Brisbane are a huge chance next year for the flag. Probably Brisbane Collingwood, the grand final next year. But anyway, that's an early prediction. Well, that is early. Jesus. I really liked the prelim finals just recently. I loved the first one. I got very angry watching the Richmond-Geelong one because I really thought Geelong could have got a better lead and made it really hard for Richmond. But the Tigers are just an incredible team, and they're in the granny for a reason, and I reckon they're going to have a big, big weekend against GWS. I don't think they're going to get destroyed by GWS at all. But like I said, I'm not meant to give it away, and I just gave it away even though everyone's already seen the results. I got to get to the game between the Giants and Collingwood. This is so disappointing how badly Collingwood played. I'm impressed with Collingwood's first half. It was just a tight match. I mean, there's not much Collingwood could do. They probably weren't expecting the contested brilliance from GWS. They were playing a great game with man-on-man contested ball. It was just brilliant, like what they were doing with their team in the prelim final. They did it perfectly. The first half was very well done from GWS, and then the better team shut out in that third quarter. It's just ridiculous. Collingwood proving that they're not quite up to the task this year. Start of the fourth quarter, looks like GWS are just going to blow them out of the water. They could have. Jeremy Cameron had another shot after his previous goal, and if he had kicked that, that's it. So he didn't kick it, and Collingwood started a great comeback and played the kind of footy they should have been playing for the previous 3 quarters, but just didn't have it in them yet. Then they had it in them, and they did incredibly well. Holy shit. We're going to remember that comeback for a long time, let's just say, because it's very rare. Oh my God, you get a finals game when a team is at like 23 or 24 points and the other team's at 56 points and they're down by 33 or so points, and then that's when the comeback happens. Really strange game, great game. Final quarter is a classic. Brilliance. I'm glad GWS won, sort of. My cat getting on my bed. But at the same time, I felt bad for Collingwood. I actually felt really bad for Collingwood after, because they were my tip for the flag all year. and I was expecting them to win the premiership this year, so I'm very surprised that they couldn't even make the granny. Huge shock. GWS, though, through to their first grand final. I'm excited but also worried because I don't really want the backlash and the terrible feeling of GWS winning one premiership and equaling St Kilda's one premiership, despite only being a team for 10 years and us being a team for almost 150 years. Yeah, that's a good stat, isn't it? Terrible stat if GWS win this weekend. My tip for the grand final. So this is the moment of truth here, guys. I'm going to tip Richmond by 4 points. I hope I'm right, because that'll be a great granny. Anyway, watch my tier list video on grand finals. That's going to be coming out the same time as this one. Yeah. God damn. Thanks for watching, guys. Jesus. Whoa. I'll be back post granny to review that game. Yeah.